sticking with the hardwood, we saw the big trade last week with James Harden going to the Nets. And, we want to now look at the outlook of what the Nets team is going to be like the rest of the season. And it's going to be interesting. You got three superstars there in Brooklyn who all like to shoot, like to take shots. They're all going to have to sacrifice a little bit. But right now, James Harden, overnight, it looks like he lost 20 pounds. He looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, the rumor was that he was wearing a fat suit in Houston. Decided to take that off when he came over in the trade. But, that was just a joke going around on Twitter because he really did shed the pounds. I think that really goes to his work ethic, honestly. It goes to his work ethic, and it goes to that he was positioning himself to get traded. So that's all he was doing, positioning himself to get traded. Maybe Deshaun Watson wants to put on 5 or 10 pounds overnight. That might help him out. You never know. But I think James Harden kind of proved that, he's still one of the greatest players in the NBA. Came out in that first showing with the new team, drops a 30-point triple-double, proved that he's willing to give up shots to facilitate the ball to a Kevin Durant. So I know he's going to be playing fine with Kyrie. I believe Kyrie's actually active tonight, so it's going to be the first night that we're going to get to see the big three together. But here's my prediction. If those three can stay healthy, you're going to get to see them at least play in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think they could go further. They could go further if they can mesh together. You saw the other night that Harden and Durant meshed really well together, getting each other the ball. Like I said, Harden's really playing good. He's a dribble machine, and people think that can be like something that's bad at times, and it can if he decides that he doesn't want to pass the ball. But he can also dribble and facilitate, and I think that's kind of what you're seeing. He did the other night. Obviously had the triple-double. I believe he had 10 or 11 assists. I think when Kyrie comes back, you're going to kind of still see that production from James Harden. Kevin Durant he's looking like he hasn't missed a beat coming off that injury. He looks really good. Kyrie Irving, like I said, he's playing better now in Brooklyn than he did in Boston. So I just think the sky's the limit right now. If they can learn to mesh together, play well, play great on the defensive end, I think they can go at least minimum to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, I think over the next 2 seasons, I think this is going to work because I think you have guys who, for a short period of time, even in the past, you've seen be able to sacrifice shots to win, right? You've seen Kyrie do it in Cleveland when he was playing with LeBron, and then he would step up in big moments. It was Kyrie taking the big shots. It wasn't necessarily LeBron. LeBron might have been making the play, but it was Kyrie knocking down the big shots in the playoffs for the Cleveland Cavs. So I think maybe for a season or two, he's going to be able to kind of swallow his pride, not take as many shots, and allow Harden and Durant to get shots too. You already saw it with Durant in Golden State, able to take less shots and be in a championship team for a year or two. And then it seemed like that third year is when Durant being in Golden State and everybody was kind of getting sick of it. Like, okay, I'm not getting the shots that I want with, Curry and Thompson, but especially Draymond Green, because he then became the fourth guy. And after a couple of years, it makes it tough. And I think that's why dynasties don't happen as much as we often think they do, because of, guys got to be unselfish. So I think, over the next year or two, I think it's going to work. But I think after that, that's when you're going to see maybe they start to kind of crumble a little bit. But I don't think the Nets care. If they win a title in the next 2 years, none of that's going to matter.
It could be one of those all-out plays like Danny Ainge pulled when he pulled the trade for Kevin Garnett. And then it worked that year. We went ahead and won the title, right? I believe it was that year once we got him.
2008.
Yeah, so, it could be one of those plays. And if it is, then my hat's off to the Nets GM, I think. And it possibly could be. So far they're looking amazing right now. And it could be one of those trades. I still think Houston turned out well in the trade, obviously, with all the assets they got in return. But, yeah, I think the Nets are looking really good right now. I'm really curious to see how Kyrie inserts himself into this lineup, and is he going to look to facilitate more? You were 100% right, though. Kyrie's a big shot getter, and he definitely hit that shot LeBron didn't to win the title there. And I think he proves that he can play in clutch moments. So it's like you got 3 guys that can hit the game-winning shot there. So I think it's hard for any team, especially defensively, to try to stop this Nets team right now. So we're going to kind of see what they do going forward on this season.